Hello all, this is Dswank, and I am playing From the Depths. Now, I spent some time building this monstrosity, and unfortunately, monstrosity is actually what it is. I built it and didn't even realize just how big this thing was going to be. So let's go to E. There's the deck profile. That right there, that's my fleet tender. So that gives you kind of a sense of scale. Let's get out that. There's the height that the birds fly around at. So about the deck level. And let's zoom out. And, I mean, this thing's huge. Here's the back end of it, what I've done so far. Now, the problem is that this thing has more blocks in it than what is currently allowed in a combat session. And it's not even finished with the hull yet. Inside this level was going to be all laser stuff. It's double-lined armor below this. Double-lined armor again. And my mouse is misbehaving. Bad mouse. Okay. The fuel generation. This was going to be like fleet support ship, flagship. I don't need as many of these as I put in there, but I was kind of just going, well, I'll put this here. I'll put this here. Repair bots. I needed a lot to keep the thing up and running. Probably not that many, but still, in this, I needed nowhere near this amount. But I've decided after messing around with it, I'm going to just retire this after showing it, and I'm going to do something different. I know I said I would build things only in the real world setting here. Well, my plan is to recycle this, get a huge amount of resources, and then build the hull, and the hull only, for one of these ships, for my Battleship series of ships. And in the creative setting, and then bring it back into play setting. This is the only time I'm going to do that. I mean, the closest thing I did before was, well, I guess it depends on if y'all decide I need to go with the fat sub or the skinny sub. Right now I have 6 skinny subs that I've built. I'll go ahead and I've got some other things I wanted to talk about for this playthrough other than this. So, let's go to map. Full map. Okay. The last of the Deepwater Guard were hiding here. I currently have 3 fleets. This was going to be the flag for the 3rd fleet, and, you know, if I pull that, I can get rid of it, but whatever. What I was thinking, I've got 3 options for a faction to invade. I can go with Onyx Watch, and I don't know what their territory looks like up beyond here. I've got the, what are these guys? The White Flares, which I could go after, which I think they would be a challenge, but I think I could handle it, except for maybe not that one. Good God. 628 fleet points? I'm not sure if I could take that or not. That's insane. And over here, I've got the lightning hoods. Now, I could clear the lightning hoods because I don't think they go up this high. I think this is where the Grey Talons start. So, I've got 3 enemy factions that could go after. Onyx Watch, which they should give me a huge amount of metal resources, just because of their nature. I could go after these guys or Lightning Hoods. I'm not sure. I'll let y'all say it. Tell me in the comments which faction you want me to go after. So, yes. Now, let's go ahead and... I mean, you can tell... I left that thing in world, and my computer... It's a fairly beastly computer. I'm going to end up putting my stats on the About page of the channel for my computer at the moment. But, yeah. It's not a slouch of a machine, and I'm having rendering issues. So, I'm going to take you, and we're going to go ahead and scrap it. Because that's way too much, it's too big, and everything, and I'm going to have a crap ton of resources. And look how slow it's scrapping, but it's scrapping incredibly slowly. I'm going to get a huge amount of oil and metal and scrap, because this thing is worth like 3 or 4 of my destroyers. It's completely impractical and way too big. And I did some online, or some 1v1 ship battles of the Agamemnon versus single ships of other factions, and it did fairly well. I mean, not fantastic against all of them, but like it took on a 50 fleet point worth ship and was still combat ready after sinking it. I'm not sure if it could take on 2, but yeah. My plan is, like I said, to get my good lord, it's taking forever for this thing to deconstruct. Let's teleport down there and see just what this looks like. Hey, it's... wow. The hull is deconstructing now. It looked like the wood had deconstructed, the side hull had deconstructed. You are still attached. And I'm getting a huge amount of resources for this. And this, I mean, because I wasn't at war, I sat down and pretty much just sat on my butt, or let the computer run AFK for a little bit to gather resources to build this thing. And I was watching Batman the Animated Series throughout the whole time. So, I'll have plenty of resources to build my battleship when I actually build it and have a better hull. So, what I'm going to do is let this thing finish deconstructing, and because this actually looks kind of cool, see how much insane amount of resources I'll have at the end of it. How much am I at? Am I already at 2 million metals? I think I am. And I still have quite a bit of metals left to go. I like the look of the ship, but it was just way too big. It was never going to be used in the fleet because it was too expensive. And there was magazine surrounded by, in essence, 8 layers of heavy armor, or double layered armor. No, 8 layers of regular armor, so it would have been 4 heavy layer, or double layer. And we're floating back up. Now those are going away. It's like it's deconstructing in the order I built it in, which is kind of cool. All those resources. I bet I'll have 3 million by the time this thing's done. What are you? Oh, you're my repair bots. Repair bots. Alright. Side of the ship. Yeah, this thing was just way too big to be practical. Alright, so I have quite a bit of resources. So, save game. And I will switch over to main menu, the sandbox mode, and get the hull built. I have plenty of resources. I would have had plenty of time to build this because that thing was so just overwhelmingly stupid. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Alright. So, how do I want to do this? Alright, build. No. E is new. New object. New vehicle. Yay. Caps lock. Alright. Wood blocks, wood beam. And I'll actually record part of this so you can kind of see my process. For doing this. Let's in. Alright. Well, to start off with, just for sense of scale, I know I want to mount the arc heavy turret on here. So, new object. No. Turret. One axis. Alright. Sure, because I'm not sure which way's forward right now. Okay. Prefab. Alright. So I can make sure I see what I'm doing. Do I have this backwards? I think I do. Ah. Yes, I do. Alright. This is... Is that how I want it? Sure. Alright, E. Blocks. Wood block. Alright. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me move back here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. that again. Do, do, do. Alright. That is the minimum width of the ship. It can't be narrower than that. Now, I would like it to be 2 more for the deck, because that means I can walk past as the character the turrets. Alright. So, I'll need to figure out the back end of that too. So I'm thinking of extending that a little bit. I'm not sure. But, alright. So, alright. Let's see. And that would cover the second turret spot. Alright. Is that center area? Let's see. That. Yeah, let's do that. Because I'm kind of getting a sense of scale. So a lot of this is going to be deleted. Because I'm new object, turret, 1 axis. There we go. New object, save object, prefab. Oh, derp. Alright, can I get a good view of this thing? That looks right there. Alright. Alright. So, do that. E, block, wood beam. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, let's go ahead, fill that in. Yep. Zip back. See, this thing is turning into a huge ship fairly quickly. I think this is narrower than that monstrosity I had before. I did save that monstrosity before as a blueprint, just so I can take a look at it. Okay. let's see. E. Don't really actually kind of do. New object. One axis. There. Prefab. Alright. How do you out? Where are you? I'm not even sure I have this thing centered. Okay. I think that's right. Is it? No. Oh well. Boom! Caps lock. Oh, build. This is what I want to build. Build. Caps lock. Alright, that's... Even if it's not mounted right, that's good enough. Alright. Wow. E. Blocks. Wood block. Wood block. Alright. I guess maybe you're good. So 1, 2. Alright. 1. There we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Alright. And then, is that going to be... Yeah, that'll work. I can do that. I can work with that. It's not going to be perfect, but I can work with it. Beam. One, two. Okay, let's see. Alright, we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Seven, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's 15. Hey, this thing gets big quick. I may have to redesign the turrets and make them smaller. Right. So, yes. Okay, rear turret, I think I'll go ahead and start the curve inwards here. just right off the back of that. And so I'll need to design the nose of this thing. Shape. So I kind of want it pointy a little bit. 1, 2. Oh, I'm not mirrored, am I? Nope. 2. In. 1. 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Is that what I want? Not yet. Yeah, no. Don't be stupid. There we go. Do that. 1, 2, 3. Alright, actually, I'm gonna change my angle. There we go. That's going to be a little better than that monstrosity from before. We'll have a forward deck. And wood blocks. Alright. Yeah, we're still mirrored. That's why I can do that. Yay! Alright. So, there's the front. I do feel that this is smaller than my previous, that month, giant ship. Beam. 1, 2. 1, 2. Alright. Goes 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1. 1. 1. Wood block. There. Alright. Beam. Fill that in. And over here. No. Up. Down. There we go. And I could probably just F-fill that. Okay. That's gonna be the wood platform. So now that I don't really need any of these turrets, see if I can get rid of them. Okay, don't need that one anymore, and it sinks. Don't need these anymore. Don't need that anymore. Alright. Now that's going away. Let's let you do your thing. The others turned into resources. Where are you going? Oh well. Caps lock. Build. Alright, let's go up to this. I'm actually going to do something more for experiment purposes real quick. Right. Build. Not build. Escape. Load vehicle. Actually, let's do this. Alright. Escape. Load vehicle. I'm going to load an Agamemnon. I don't know if I've shown you the Agamemnon since I've reworked its... Alright, that's not that much bigger than the Agamemnon, actually. So don't feel that bad about it. Okay, but let's come over to this side. And load vehicle. Cruiser hull. Large hull, that's what I called it. Okay. So, that gives kind of the scale difference between the three things I was building. The Agamemnon may become my more standard thing, but yes. I may continue and finish this thing off just because I'd like to say, look at what I've done. I have a giant battleship I've built. Oh man, I didn't save it after I started working on the back. Did I say? I didn't even save the interior. Oh no. Oh well. I may not finish it then. This thing's just such a monstrosity. But I'm going to... My original intention was to take this ship and have the hull and have a battleship and an aircraft carrier. But that didn't work. So, let's map. Scrap, yes, because we don't want you here. We'll work to that. Yes, go away. Okay. So if that's the Agamemnon, and this thing is going to have... See, the Agamemnon has the armor walls on it, on the sides. It's going to have, like this one had, twin armor on the sides, and it's going to bulge out with the foreline. So it is going to be wider, because I don't want to have the same problem I have with the Agamemnon, which is shooting sideways. So, what I'm going to do before this episode ends, I'm going to finish off this hull, and then I'll show it off, and then we'll go ahead and end the episode. So, if I come across anything interesting, frustrating, or confusing during finishing the hull, I'll let you know. Yes, I'm back. I said interesting. I haven't really done anything. Give you a sense of numbers. 9,643 blocks. That's how many blocks the Agamemnon is. Most battles that I have are 50,000 blocks is the total. That means with no enemies, I could have 5 Agamemnons appear in one fleet. My goal with this hull is to keep the hull count below, and this is not with anything else on top, keep the hull count below 10,000. That way, because my plan is to actually do 2 ships off of this one hull. One is going to be the Battleship, which is going to come first, and the other is, once I figure out how to do flyers, do an aircraft carrier. So, now that you kind of know my plan, I'm also hoping that I can do a better thruster than, or propeller setup than what I have on the Agamemnon. I don't know. I like the Aggie. She's a nice ship. But I want a big gunship, and that's what this is going to be. And it's going to have some missiles, some torpedoes, but it's mostly going to be a gunship. And the reason why I'm going to be doing this bulge out to the side, even bigger than what the Aggie has, is she has a big problem right now with these guns wanting to cause it to roll. And my plan for this one actually has 5 of these guns pointing sideways along with the big guns. And if that causes this thing to roll, it's definitely going to cause this thing to want to roll. And so I want to get a big wide hull, wider than what I have, so the metal and the curves on the side, and hopeful in a low center of gravity. So hopefully this works. I'm not going to go as crazy as I did with the previous one, which was one of these out a 2 dot down to a 2 angle to a 1 angle to a 2 angle to a 4 angle to a 2 to flat blocks to a 4 angle to a 2, and that was huge. What I'm probably going to do is 4 to a 2 to a 1 to get the width, to a 2 to a 2 to those 2 back down, and so it's much shallower than the monstrosity from before. And that's my plan at the moment. So hopefully this works. I'll be back shortly. So I've gotten the hull pretty much to the same state that the Insanovision hull was at, and I caps locked it back to the ocean, and it's bouncing. Let's see. The center of mass is somewhere around here. It should be wide enough that, my god, it's got an oscillation from its bounce. Oh lord. That bounce. Well, anyway. At least you don't do that, do you? You're a good little ship that's trying to sink for some reason. It could be the waves. Or it could be some weird mess with the buoyancy on this thing. But anyway, let's take a look at my numbers while I'm here. Oh, wow. So I have blown well past my hope of being having this done in under 30. I'd like to get it and at least the hull finished in, I hazard to say, $2,000 more, but I'd like to do that. I don't know if it's possible or not. Excuse me. But yeah, a little more expensive than I'd planned. But I'm kind of in the same state that I was in the other one. Resource-wise, I think it's cheaper. And it likes to bounce. So, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take what I have so far and put it into the game, because this is where I was with that other hull that I was building. And hopefully I can finish this off and use it as my battleship platform. Basically, this will be the biggest ship I build. It's going to be my flagship platform. This bouncing really disturbs me. I think it's bouncing a little less. But, yeah. I think I'm going to go ahead and, that's going to be, because I've got to double layer the armor, excuse me, here. Get the nose down, pull this inward, double layer the armor here, pull this inward, put the props on the back, and armor down the sides to this depth. So I've got a fair more blocks to use that I hope it doesn't cost me too much. I may get rid of this flare. I'm not sure. I kind of want to keep the flare, but I may get rid of it just because it's going to cost me. At this point, block cost is very expensive, so I may get rid of this nose flare. So, yes, that's kind of what I'm looking at. If you kind of like, well, I'm going to go ahead. I think I'm going to call this episode here. I didn't get as far as I said I would. I said I'd finish this, but yeah, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to finish this, and hopefully, by the time that I have this finished, have the hull finished, have the battleship finished, I will know what faction I am attacking. And, yeah. So until then, bye-bye.